Bay of Fundy. The Bay of Fundy. Just sold one of our cars. And just reflecting on things, looking for whales. And just a beautiful, beautiful night. That's Northern Light with the sun setting almost. Not really. Gorgeous out. Otherwise, I'd get outside, but... Oops.
Oh, sorry. Want it back on?
No, it's okay. Knock it out. This is beautiful cove in the Bay of Fundy with the highest and lowest tides in the world.
I believe so.
I believe so. It's a beautiful, beautiful night. That's Northern Light on Brower Island. And that's the passage, Grand Passage, just starting right there. We often see shipping vessels out here in the Bay of Fundy. And way over there would probably be Maine and New Brunswick. New Brunswick over there, I think. And I think it's Maine over there, I believe. If I'm right. I may be right. I may be wrong. But beautiful cove. The actual cove is down there. There used to be a trail along there that I used to go on, and I'll probably go on again sometime. But there you go. Hi, hi, hi. It's Mrs. Stitches. This is my Flosstube. So this is a channel about cross stitching mostly. And this is my Flosstube number 15. The date today is May 15th. Oh my gosh, what a neat coincidence. So today is going to be a bit of a long one. I'm going to try to go fairly fast, but I'm also going to indulge in a few stories along the way. So this is really going to be a whip parade because it's May. And what I decided to do for May was what I'm calling mindful or meditative May match up. And so what I've done is, like March matchup, I took all the whips that I don't work on daily, and I rolled dice and made a matchup of them. And so there are 15 in my May matchup, and then for the 16th spot, one of the losers got through to the 16th spot. So today's May 15th, and I've just finished the 15 individual ones. So you'll see all those, plus you'll see my dailies. And I think it all adds up to 24, and I believe that's what my total whips are. There may be one other that's going to be abandoned, or two, probably three others that will possibly be abandoned, but those kind of stayed in the back. And anyways, they're there. So 24 projects is what you're going to see. First, I'm going to start off with my dailies, and I'll go through those moderately quickly and then spend some time on my Mindful May Madness. It's been a wonderful experience. I'm carrying it on into June, and I may do it multiple times a year. I've really enjoyed revisiting some old whips. But let's get back. Let's get to my regulars first. So first, starting off with is my daily, which is Felix. So I'm going to just dip down here and pick up Felix. And so this is what I'm working on. Hopefully it's fine with it. Yeah, it's pretty fine with it. This is Felix. And so I work on this every day, and I do approximately a little over 100 stitches, about 110, 20, something like that. I'm trying to finish this. This is a present for my husband for his birthday next year, and I'm right on target. And so this is Felix. And I've gotten to the edge here on the edge, and the top is going to be right about there. So I'm probably going to work over here next. It's a really confetti heavy, and so sometimes I have to figure out where to go, but I still love the looks of it. I really do. So Felix. Next is we'll go through our days. Oh, no. Next will be, I'm going to have to pause just a second. So next is my temperature tree, and here's it. And you can see we're really into some yellows, and you can just see the temperatures are progressing. So I am right now stitching on this. This is a maize branch, and I do it every Sunday. I record the temperatures and then stitch a week's worth. And so I still have to stitch this week's worth. Today is Sunday. So there we go. That's my temperature tree. I really enjoy that. I don't know if it's really that exciting for people to see, but they pretty much all look the same. But anyways, that's my temperature tree. And speaking of temperatures, I got a rainy day project. And that's this one. This is River of Life. It was part of the Black Needle Society box. And it's a modern folk embroidery. And I'm using the threads that came in the box, which are Forbidden Fiber Co. threads. And it's my River of Life. I love it. I'll just give you a little close-up. It is supposed to rain today. It hasn't started yet. So I'll just wait and see. But I'm glad for some rain because it's been a bit dry lately. We had a really wet January and February. And then April, May has been a little bit drier. But things are starting to grow. But it'll be good to get some water. So I've had to start watering, and that takes up some of my cross-stitching time. So next are my monthly projects. Oh, I just realized I got one missing here. This, I used to work on a set time. Now I'm kind of just doing this during the evenings, during the weekdays. And so this is Halloween at Hawkrun Hollow. And I am right now working obviously on this square over here. And it's really a nice stitch. Oh, there you go. So I should be able to finish that up definitely before the end of this month. And I kind of just do it when I have free time in the evenings on the weekdays. On the weekends, I work on my Fruits of Plenty stitch along from last year from Modern Folk Embroidery. And so right now what I'm doing is I got a goal on the Saturday and Sunday right now of 500 stitches each day, and that's to get the block done in the given month. And so right now I'm working on this middle block right here, which is May, and there you can see it. It is a lovely stitch. I really do love it, and I'm starting to come to terms with my colors. Now I'm not really liking this green that I did in there because it's kind of an oddball. So, but you know, I'm going to stitch the whole thing, and then if there's any changes to be made, I'll make it afterwards, because maybe I have to see the whole picture first. So, and it's different under different light. And so before I get to the next green was going to be in the corner. So it was going to be the 4 blocks in the corner. I was substituting this light green, which I think is number 15 or 16, instead of the light blue. Now I don't like it. I think it looks odd. The reason I did it was because I didn't have enough light blue, and I was trying to avoid buying more because I was trying to use up stash. I'm gonna carry on, and it won't be till October that I get to the next one when I have to make a decision. So I got some time to see how it all looks. So that's my Modern Folk Embroidery. Now I have to find one more, so hold please. Okay, so my next one is another monthly one, and I'm a tiny bit behind on this, but I think I can catch up. So I have, no, I'm going to tell you another one first. Okay, so it was my Twisted Band sampler, but I've actually given it a day of a week. So my new thing is designated days, and so we'll start with Monday first. So Monday is Medieval Monday, and oh, sorry. That is because I'm doing a chatelaine, and I have chosen Medieval Herb Garden, or Herbie, and it's actually called Herbalarius, and oh, I love it so much. So it's designated on Monday. So after I finished it, on any of the designated days, first I do Felix first thing in the morning, And then I do my May matchup, and then I got the rest of the day to work on whatever I choose. Or, I mean, what is designated for that day. So Monday's Medieval Monday. And so this is how much I got done so far in Herbalaria. So I actually last weekend worked on it on Saturday and Sunday because I got my Fruits of Plenty done, and I gave myself the leeway to work on it in the evenings. I love it. I love it so much. Now, I have realized I'm not poor or financially disadvantaged. I am frugal. And so I couldn't stomach paying, however much it was. I think it was like $200 US to kit this up. So I'm going with DMC. And then there's all the beads and the Swarovski. So I bought some beads at a real cross stitch shop. I didn't get them all. So now I've gone online from 123 Stitch, and I bought Mill Hill beads that look similar color. And then I went to a thrift store and I found beads in like Salvation Army or whatever, or any thrift store. And I'm going to use them instead of the Swarovski crystals. So I've got those picked out now, and I'm really pleased with them. They cost like 50 cents for a package of a bunch. So I'm doing my own thing. And I think that's perfectly fine in cross stitches to do your own thing. Obviously, I'm going to do the stitching first, and then I'll be getting to the beading much later on. So I still have time to collect more, but I think I actually got it figured out now. So really happy. So this is my Herbie. Oh, I love, love, love stitching this. So I'm just so happy with it. I'm so pleased with it. I love the colors. So that's Herbie, and Herbie will keep changing and growing. Okay, so that's Mondays, Medieval Mondays. Next is Twisted Tuesdays. And so that's what I was just about to show you, but I'll show you now. So this is my twisted band sampler. And I'm trying to do a band a month. And I'm actually, I think, on April's band right now. So I'm a little bit behind, but I don't have far to go. So I will get April's done probably this week easily, and then I'll be on to May's. So I think I might catch up. I'll either catch up this month or in June for sure. So that's, especially with giving it one day a week. So love it, love it, love it. I've had to substitute out some colors. Again, I'm doing it in DMC. Didn't have all the colors, but I'm about to substitute in just colors that I think look well. And I think I'm doing a lot of substitutions down at the bottom because that's just the way I roll. Okay, so that's Tuesday. Then Wednesday is Wentzler Wednesday. And so this is a Teresa Wentzler, Brilliant Plumage. And so it's starting to come together, and I'm kind of really digging it. It takes a lot to get into it because I find the picture doesn't come alive fast enough for me, but I'm finding a way to work on it, and I'm finding it to start being a pleasure. I have a goal of this to finish it by end of April next year, and so I have a certain number of stitches I have to do each week. So I do about 450 on the Wentzler Wednesday. So it'll make significant progress each week. So that's Wentzler Wednesday. And then, just a minute. Then the last one, and probably made quite a bit of progress on this one, is Flower Friday. And for that one, I got Language of the Flowers for now. Oops. No, I thought I just lost my needle, but I don't think I did. And so this is Rosewood Manor, Language of the Flowers. Do I have it right way up? No, I don't. Language of the Flowers. So I have a major mistake, and I got to do some fudging. Somehow I got a little low over here. And so I'm going to be really tight for space here for the words, but I'm going to work it out. So I will figure that out this Friday probably and get that solved. But there's my Language of the Flowers. Oh, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I really look forward to Fridays and Mondays are my favorite days, but I is cross stitching. I love all days that I get to stitch. So those are those my dailies? I think those are all my dailies. Okay, next we get to the May matchup. So, May matchup. I'll show you my board first. So, like I said, what I did was I signed, I did a random generator I picked a project and then I randomly spin between 1 and 16 to figure out what slot to put it in. So we made this whole board. This is round 1 and each one got a day. And then the ones that get round 2 will get 2 days. Round 3, 3 days. Round 4, 5 days. And the final round, the winner gets 7 days. It might be 8. And each day is 1 hour. 1 hour, sitting right here, no distractions. Timer is set for 1 hour. I don't look at the timer. I don't look at the stitch count. And I try to be really sort of mindful. So I try to get really into what I'm working on. Try to fully enjoy it and fully embrace that hour that I'm working on it. Sometimes it takes a bit to get into it, but the mindfulness is to try to relive and relove the project that I've been assigned for that day. So let's get to the matchup, and I will tell you as I will tell you as I go how many stitches and the winner. You're not going to see before and after. In general, there wouldn't be a big difference anyway. So this is more like a whip parade that you actually just get to see the stitches. I think the camera's about to fall down, but we'll go with it. When it falls, I'll fix it. Okay, so the first project that I did, and I kept everything in its bag because I don't want to get too disorganized. So sorry for the crinkle. First project was my tarot cell. So I'm actually behind on my cells, some of these cells. Cell is S-A-L. It is a stitch along. And so the tarot cell comes out every month. I never finished my frame. So the frame I don't have done yet. About halfway done on it, maybe a bit more, probably halfway. And this was the first first 2 cards a month release. So that was, I believe, February it started. So obviously I'm way behind. I'm kind of giving up on that, but I started working on a block, and I've accidentally it was supposed to be in here instead of there, but doesn't matter. So that is my tarot cell. I worked a tiny bit on a block. Have the needle stuck in there. It doesn't have any thread on it, so I'm going to just make sure that needle's well anchored. Interestingly, working on this, it was 20 count Aida, and I hadn't worked on 20 count Aida in a while, and I found it really tiny, which is funny because I used to find it perfectly fine. So it's just what you're used to. But I did get into it. It got 161 stitches in an hour, and I was quite pleased with that, and I really actually enjoyed it. So every time I finished these, when I usually enjoyed them, I actually was hoping they'd win and move on. So it got 161. The next one was another cell. Let's find it. Oops. Let's hold for a second while I find it. Okay, so the next one was a cell stitch along that I did last fall. I think it was sort of around Halloween, Christmas time. And it was the Nightmare Before Christmas cell. And I finished the whole cell. And then I wanted to add in sort of a memorial to one of our cats that passed away about the same time. And so I added in this bit and this bit my own, and a little quote down here. And I'm making a boat because we called her Captain Frosty. And so right now I'm just trying to make a boat. So I was doing the outline of the boat. So I wasn't working off any pattern. I was just sort of winging this. And I'm going to fill it in probably half stitches, which I won't count in this. But right now I thought, well, I'll just do the full stitches and do my boat. So it, surprisingly, because it was all just black and no pattern, just counted my stitches as I went, I actually got quite a few done. So I was hoping Carousel was going to win, but actually this one with 205 stitches. So it's moving on, and I continue to work on my boat in the next round. Then the next matchup is you think I could have been organized. Okay, I know where this one is. Just one second. Okay, so the next matchup was Pandemic. And I was looking forward to this. And, oh, Pandemic. You know, I really thought I'd finish you faster than I really have. Or gotten more progress. But, and let's see if we can get you the right way up. First things first. Which way do you go? I think you go this way. So on Pandemic, I have made it over to corner to corner. I'd already done this ahead of time. What I ended up working on was this down here and a little bit over here. I just had to pick a spot. That's my whole Pandemic. I kind of did my own mix of colors. The main thing is the green. The border's done in blue. The animals are all brown and flowers are sort of pink, and I just kind of wing it. I enjoyed this stitch. I enjoyed this stitch so much. This is where, for mindfulness and for meditativeness, really got into it. And so the time went by smoothly. 216 stitches. And I'm looking forward to picking it up again. And I'm also thinking my next 24 hours cross stitch, I will be working on it. So I've been trying to keep that in mind too, that when I have big stitch times, who do I want to work on? And so I believe Pandemic and the one I just did today will be the ones that will be coming out for sure. So I've got to make a note somewhere so I remember. Pandemic went up against this one, which I don't think you guys have seen at all. I think this is a brand new one for you seeing. This one is one I won in a giveaway. It is a kit, and it's called, I think it's just called Black Cat. Let me show you a picture of the final piece, if I have a picture. No, I don't have a picture. Sorry, that was on the cover of the thing. But anyways, this is Black Cat. It's essentially a cat sitting on the edge of a couch. And so I have some major mistakes somewhere, but just tried to work it out. And we have 3 black cats, and we call them the CIBs, Cats in Black, and like the Men in Black. And so anyways, this I'd make into a pillow eventually, but which I would think would be ironic to have it on the couch where the cats sleep, and it's a cat sleeping on the couch. So I enjoyed working on it. It was a bit bothersome because there was a mistake, but you know, I'll figure it out. I'll sort it out. I mean, I'll correct it or just fudge it, because who's going to know? It's a difference of a black, a mix of a gray black, you know, it's all just for texture. But I'll bring it a little closer so you can see, but that's the cat in black. No, the black cat. Although I could call it Black Cat in Black. So it got 145 stitches, so it did not go through. But one thing interesting about doing all this is I've realized that certain projects are close to completion. This is one of them. So I now have a goal of finishing this by the end of the year. So once this matchup's done with, I'm going to carry on with an hour focus on whichever project I want to get done. And I believe I picked out at least 4 from this whole thing that I believe I can get done this year easily. I think 4. That's one of them. Okay, so it did not get on to the next round. Next is, got to find this one. Okay, hold please. So I tried to bag things up a bit too, which makes it confusing because I don't know what I'm looking for. I'm not used to. So this is, I used to go on lots of races. Sometimes they gave us little bags. So this is its project bag. So this one is, I do have its cover sheet right here, is Christmas Jewel. It's a Just Nan. And that's Christmas Jewel. I love this. And let's see if I can show you the right side. I'm working up in the top corner. Oops, let's get this. Oh, the needle's attached to that. Let's move the over to this side. Put the needle in. Move that over. Move that over. And there you go. There is my Christmas jewel. I'm enjoying it. It's working with different threads. I'm using some threads I got from a thrift store, and it's more like a crochet thread or embroidery thread, I guess. And it's a little bit thicker, and so it acts as 2 strands. So it's just a little different. It takes a little while to get into, and subsequently it doesn't get a really high stitch count. So it got 130. So that was Christmas Jewel. It was matched up with my Painting with Stitches. Oops, I got Painting with Stitches Stitch Along sale. I'm behind on this one too. I'm going to keep this as it is right now, but that's my needle minder. The needle just popped off, but this is my Painting with Stitches Stitch Along. It's a mystery sale. Believe it's a bird on the water. I am, I think 2 months behind, 3 months behind. It comes out on the 11th of each month. And I believe this is March's that I'm working on right now, maybe, or even February. So I'm a ways behind. So just put that there, where I will never know that it's there, but that's okay. So that Painting with Stitches sale got 174 stitches. So it won. It's going through, but I did a loser draw because I had 15, and Christmas Jewel won the loser's draw. So they're both going through. So, and they're not going to be matched up next round, but that's okay. Here's those 2. Okay, so next one is, I have to be more organized soon because they're all sitting right here, and it seemed like everyone I kept going to wasn't here. So eventually it's only going to be the ones here that are left to do. This I call Owl and Cat. It has a different name. It's from Cross Stitch Magazine. So this I will get done this year. So this is one of the ones that it will be focused on after the matchup to get finished. I really only have like about 1,000 stitches left. So it's going to be my first one to finish up. But the Owl and the Cat, it is hard. But I spent the time, got into it, and by the time I got into it, I started finding rhythm. But it is hard. It got 111 stitches. It got the least amount of stitches on the whole board. 111 in an hour. It will be the first one that I'm working on to complete. So once the matchup is done, it is #1 priority. It can be done. 111 stitches, 1,000 stitches ago, that's still only 10 days. So it is going to get, once the matchup's done, an hour each day. It got matched up against an old one. Oh, this is one of the real early ones I bought. It's a stamped kit. I'm sure there's others that have this. Amazon, it's probably a Chinese ripoff, but Starry Night. I don't think it's really a ripoff because I know that artists' work after a certain length of time is public domain. And so this is public domain, but because Van Gogh's not going to get credit, but this is Starry Night. So Starry Night got 178 stitches. Starry Night, when we first bought this house, we came out here twice or 3 times, almost like a vacation to visit our own house because we were still living in our own houses and we had to finish work before we were going to retire. And so we came out here, we had a radio, but barely any furniture, and it was quiet because we didn't really have a routine. You're just visiting an empty house, empty-ish. I mean, it had beds and a chair. And I remember sitting in the in the kitchen, looking out a gorgeous view, listening to some old time radio. We found this radio station that even played a song like The Streaker, and just these old like country western tunes and different tunes, stitching away. And oh, I was in a happy place. It was so therapeutic, so quiet. I just focused on this. So it's nice to get out an old friend. And I'm gonna, for a while there, it was also my travel piece because it's stamped. It's easy to use as travel piece. Might start doing that again. I'm also going to use it when I just need something like waiting for an appointment or whatever, on the phone, waiting on hold or anything like that. Just something that I can stitch without really thinking, and it's easy to put together. So it was great. I had forgotten all about this, and so I'm glad to get back at it. So it got 170 stitches. It won, so it will be on to next round. Not putting things away anymore. I'll have to deal with this afterwards. Next, ooh, this one you haven't seen either. This one I put into my Stitch North project bag. This I bought last year for my birthday and was my birthday start. And it is Carol Manny birthday cake. So I'm trying to work my way across. I'm kind of curious to see. This is on, I think, 20 count. It looks tiny. Doesn't it look tiny? But that's my birthday cake. And oh, this was fun to stitch. Because you really, once you know the colors, it's a real easy pattern. It's a very pastel-y color palette. So last year for my birthday, I went on my own little retreat. I got a cabin for 3 or 4 days, and I worked on one project, which I'll maybe show you next time or something. This went through, so I'll show it to you next time when I talk about this. And I worked on this at the very end, and I actually kind of burnt out on it. I think I was burnt out on stitching in general. And I did a lot. So I kind of did this whole thing, which is a solid 1,700 stitches or something like that. But because I only added 200 to it. So it is, I'm enjoying it. I'm glad I picked it up again. It's going around on to next round. But it also might come out at my next 24 hours because it is easy to get some stitches. It's easy to see it because there's such a pattern, and once you know the pattern, you just need to know what color is that, and you're doing about 40 stitches in that color. So very block stitching. It went up against, whoops, I just lost its needle. Its needle's sitting right here, so let's just put that back in. Oh, that's not its needle, it's somebody else's needle. Okay, we'll put that right there for right now. Maybe that was Starry Nights. Crap. Oh, okay, it went up against, focus Sheila. Something just fell out. Strawberry Fields. So this is a Blackbird Designs, Strawberry Fields, part of their Beetle series. Surprisingly little. This is on, I don't know. It's a Serafilm. It was in the Black Needle Society. I believe it's 36 count. And I'm just working on the border. And I'm getting there. Enjoy it. Oddly enough, this is one of the ones I think I can finish this year. Now, it looks like I got a lot to go that I haven't gotten very far. I haven't actually worked on it very much, and it does go really fast, and I love it. And so it will be one of the ones I'm going to finish this year. But it did not get through on the round, so it got 107. No, it got 166 stitches. So that's a good number. It would have won any other matchup or a couple other matchups, but it was against Birthday Cake, and Birthday Cake was the overall winner. Birthday Cake got the most altogether. So it's hard when you're matched up against a heavy hitter like that. So it will get time. but not during the May matchup. It'll get time eventually. Okay. Next, I think you've seen once before. This I'm doing as a test stitch. Let's see. This is the corner. It is a pattern on an Etsy shop called Paint with Stitches, and it's called Salty Day. And it's a scene of rocks and waves crashing up. And so really I'm just working on the rocks. And you know, you have to be in the mood for the rocks, but it's another one. I can get some good stitching done on it. It has a mix of confetti and some block areas, but it got 155. So perhaps not quite as much as some others. It was matched up with, I didn't think it was going to do very well in this matchup. It was matched up with Murder Row. And this is Murder Row. And especially since Murder Row, this is all black down here till I get down to the bottom. So it was just rows of black. There was a few ninja stitches and confetti in there. So I did probably about 10 ninja stitches and then all just black. So Murder Row was 236. Murder Row was the second highest stitch that I had. So it did not have much of a shot to win. Murder Row got through. See, so pleased about that. I wanted to finish Murder Row this year. It may not happen, but we'll see. We'll see. See how things go. Next, I don't think you've seen this one yet. Well, you've seen it on others, but like everybody, I think to be part of the stitching club, you have to do Amy Stewart. And so the one I chose was Stitching Shelf. Now I picked the mini, which was probably a mistake. And so as I was stitching this, I realized I wasn't getting enough definition, and it's confetti, purgatory. Probably looks better at a distance, but I couldn't figure out what these things were. So I was a little disappointed that I picked a mini, and in reality, I probably should have done a quick stitch, which just does one of the shelves in more detail. But so you can see the books. This is, let me just get the park threads out of the way a little bit. There's a woman stitching with her head down right there. I don't have my glasses on right now, but I was disappointed in just the way it turned out. But you know, it'll be good when it's done. I think it'll be fine. It's just not coming as alive as I wanted it to. And it is a lot of confetti for the work. But having said that, it got only 129 stitches, confetti. 129 stitches versus, an old friend from last September. And I do know other people are doing this right now. Mary Harry by Modern Folk Embroidery. So there's Mary Harry. I am close to being done. So I don't have much to go. So this is definitely one of the ones that's going to get done this year. Meanwhile, Mary Harry, got 166 stitches. So it won the matchup, and it's on to next round. 166. Way to go, Mary Harry. Woohoo! I do like Stitching Shelf, and I'm looking forward to Stitching Shelf coming back. But that was a matchup where the stronger one did win. Thinking in the future, perhaps doing a matchup where the losers are the ones that go through. Because that way you actually get more work on them, and you might actually balance out in the end. The way I'm doing this, the winner will end up getting 7, 10, 15, 18 hours done on it. So that's pretty good. That's worthwhile to be a winner. So Mary Harry is on to the next round. Now my final matchup. And that was what I worked on today. Today is the 15th. This is the 15th project of the matchup, and this is Tempest Fugit. And I just realized this is going to be a pain to put all these in the description block below, but I will, maybe. So this is Heaven and Earth Designs. I did a major mistake when I first started. This is one of the, well, it is the first Heaven and Earth design, but my first full coverage too. Added a 2.5 inch border. I only added 2.5 inches once time. So I really only added the border here and the border here. I didn't add the border over here or the border at the bottom. And so in my true fashion of fudging, it just means, luckily, it's all wallpaper on the side and it's going to be the floor tile on the bottom. And so it just means less of a repetitive wallpaper and floor tile. It just gets framed a little differently than what the artist originally intended. So, and about 30,000 less stitches. But anyways, because that's Tempest Fugit. So I just worked on that this morning and it got 198 stitches. And it's matched up with now, tomorrow I'll be working on Christmas Jewel, which won the loser draw. So I put all the losers in a spinning wheel and spun, and Christmas Jewel got through. So Christmas Jewel is matched up to this. Remember, Christmas Jewel got 130. So it's not likely to win the matchup, but that's okay. It gets another day. So, like I said, I'm going to carry on with the routine I have. And working an hour and having that hour as quiet time and meditative time and stitching time, and just work on these projects and see how the matchups work. So going forward, it's going to be the Nightmare Before Christmas stitch along, which is just that boat. So finish the outline of the boat. It's matched up to Pandemic. I'm obviously hoping Pandemic gets through because I'm really enjoying Pandemic, and I think Pandemic should go through, but we'll see. Then the next matchup will be the Painting with Stitches Sal. I'm way behind, so it's all good to get any more extra stitches in it. Yay. Against Starry Night. So that's kind of a close matchup. Both of the, yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. So we'll just see how that goes. Then it's Birthday Cake, which I really enjoyed, against Murder Row. Both of those did really well. So that matchup might be a tight one. And then the final one will be Mary Harry against, I'm going to assume, Tempest Fugit. So that also will be a tight race. So really, really fun, really interesting. And like I said, when I stitch, I like to not even look at my stitch count. Just try to really focus on the stitches and just stitch away. And then timer goes off, it kind of scares me off and jump. Should just turn down the volume. A simple solution, but maybe I'll do that this next round. So 2 days on each one this next round, and that will be another 16 days. So I will make my next floss tube at the end of that round and go through. And like I said, I'm going in June, so this will end at the end of June. And hopefully the winner, which will get a whole 7 hours once it's won, so it gets like tons of hours, and all together you'll be actually able to see some progress. So and possibly I'll just do all my floss tubes at the end of each round, because I'm increasing the number of days that each round gets. And so yeah, I think I'll probably do that. So I will see you it'll be 17 days, because I still actually haven't finished round 1. Tomorrow is Christmas Jewel again. But I will see you in 17 days. And I think there's more I wanted to say. But I just can't remember. But I'm sure it'll come to me maybe in the future. I'm sure it'll come. What are we at now? Oh, 42 minutes. That's about the right time that I usually have. So I think that's it. I'm sure there's tons I forget. You know, it's funny. I have insomnia sometimes, and I lie in bed and I actually try to think out my floss tubes and think out what I'm going to say. Ooh, I did make notes. I did actually make notes. Now let's see if I got it written in this book. don't think I do. Yeah, I'm probably not going to be able to find it if I do. Not really sure where I wrote it. Oh, I probably put it on my phone, which is right there. So I'll figure it out in the future. But I guess my overall summary of this is that it really is all in your mindset. If you really take the time to, or at least I find for me, I take the time to actually get into a project. So that one whole hour dedicated to something and getting into it, I actually do really get back into it. And I really do remember why I started and why I love it. And it's kind of that whole process. And it's been so fun doing this, just mixing it up a bit and having a little bit of a contest. Nobody else is seeing this. I'm not posting this on Instagram. I'm just doing this myself. Adds a little bit of spice to it, and kind of, it's a way for me revisiting projects that I may have forgotten about that have been sitting on the side. So like I said, I think I'll do this more than once a year, whether I take you guys through, or at least twice a year. And this has been changing as I designed it. Originally, it was just going to be May, and it was just going to be a day for everything, and it worked out to 30 days or 31 days. And then I thought, no, I want to give the winners and all the ones more days and get more progress done. So, have fun. Have fun with what you're doing. Have fun with ways. If you're monogamous, that's great. If you like to bounce around, that's great. But find what works for you. Find your happy place, your happy stitching, your happy way of doing it. I know we watch all the other floss tubers and think that, oh, that's a great idea. It may or may not work for you. But, find what works for you and have fun. So have a great week, everybody, or a couple of weeks, and I'll see you in 17 days. Happy stitching, everyone. Bye.
Down and finish here. If you're doing the 10K, you go again. Out and around, and then 10K finishes here. Of course, it's pretty clear. Clear as mud. There are a few tight spots on the trail, so if you're passing people, just make sure you let them know, coming by on your right, coming by on your left, whatever's available.
Yeah. Can you hold this and just...
Superstore, Digby Shell.
My first race of the year!
Digby.
Oh, it's snowing.
Recreation for sponsoring the event. There is hot coffee and hot chocolate. Your last chance right now. Bananas and water there at the finish.